We promised.
Time now to make some noise for our next guest.
Katy Perry has always been larger than life, but now, thanks to technology, she's about to go 3D. Since locking lips with another girl and waking up in Vegas, Katy's last album, Teenage Dream, spawned 5 #1 US singles. Only the second person ever to do so, next to this guy. Now we can see Katy Perry, Part of Me in 3D, a behind-the-scenes concert film detailing the ups.
Thank you so much for believing in my weirdness.
And the downs.
I was going through some depressing, dark times.
But just like any world-conquering pop princess, it's all served up with plenty of coloured hair, sparkles and whipped cream.
Please welcome Katy Perry.
Gosh, so much power.
They love you, Katy. They love you.
That's really cool. I've never actually gotten a standing ovation while doing like a chat show.
Oh, they love you here. We love you. I saw your movie yesterday. Absolutely adored it. Went in there thinking I was just going to see this hour of pop backstage fun, and I was in tears by the end of it. It is so moving. And
Thank you.
In a good way. Tears in a good way.
I heard that some of you boys were shedding tears.
You know what? I saw it. I was a blubbering mess. That's not completely true. But I'm perhaps not in your target demographic, but
Honey, I hope I don't have a target demographic.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hate to sound like a TV person,
I think men that cry at my film are real men.
I cried start to finish, Katy. But it's a really emotional journey, and I absolutely love the film. But it's loads of fun as well, and I think it's the first film I've ever seen where there's a fart soundboard, and that made me laugh a lot.
Well, thank you very much, yes. There's a scene in the movie where I'm doing a little bit of stretching with this, my trainer who works out with me and gets me ready for the shows.
Yeah.
And my assistant who is constantly lovely. She plays practical jokes, and she found this fart soundboard online, and every time I was in a compromising stretch, she would hear a... So that made the film.
Yeah, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, there's lots of moments like that. There's like a moment, well, my grandma is featured in the movie, and she really kind of
steals the show,
She steals the show. She's 91 years old. She's from Las Vegas, and she does not care who I am at all. I was on the red carpet yesterday premiering in Hollywood, and she walks up the stairs and she just looks me up and down. She goes, "Who are you?" Like she's about to go and do the pink carpet. And I'm like, Grandma.
Katy, one of the big things from the movie is just how good you are to your fans. Now, we saw some vision of you arriving in Sydney today. Now, you're entitled to be exhausted, but instead of going straight to the hotel, you stayed back and you signed for these fans.
I'm such a martyr. I mean, can you imagine? My job is so difficult, signing autographs for fans.
You joke about it.
Some people don't do it, though.
Yeah, well, those people don't deserve to be in the position they're in, then.
Yeah.
Good call.
I know the reason why I exist. The reason why I exist is because of those people. They put me in this position, and also a little bit of talent here and there. It's not like, you know, my cats buy the records. You got to know that. It's people buy the records, and people come to the shows, and people support me and my songs.
Now, it's an amazing tour. It's like 124 dates all around the world in 1 year. It's grueling, though. Like, it's a little bit of be careful what you wish for, because this is the dream come true tour. But got to take control.
The Pussycat Dolls have so much vision when they said that. It's so true.
But it really does take a toll. You say that, oh, what a drag meeting your fans after the shows, but you were exhausted in the process.
Of course. I mean, I'm still human, and I am tired. But I remember when I first went to Los Angeles, and I would bump into people that I really looked up to, especially Gwen Stefani from No Doubt. I met her, and she could have made the decision to be tired or cranky or or, oh, not another person telling me how much they like me. But she was really lovely, and I think I'll forever be a fan because of that one moment, you know? So I have to keep myself in check. And especially in the film, you see a point where I'm kind of like losing it a bit, like the cracks are happening in Brazil. But like I have to learn how to separate the personal from the professional because the audience aren't the ones that have the problems. So I have to kind of like, you know, there was a switch on one of my costumes that made my things peppermint things turn around. And I had to flip it. And so it was kind of symbolic. Sometimes I did have to flip that switch. But I'm an entertainer, so I guess.
Those were the bits, that moment was the bit that brought me to tears. There you were, you just wanted to go to sleep. And there you were, you were just about to go on stage and you almost couldn't do it. Then you put your mark in the air, they raised you up and you went on with the show. And I was like, that is incredible. And I think, you know, throughout that year, you're doing all that, you've got all the stuff going on with your marriage. And for anyone that, you know, just shows you that no one knows what's going on in someone's life. You're putting on this show and entertaining, but life's full on. Life's been hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, life does throw you curveballs, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think when you're trying to do something great, life can test you even harder to see if you're worth being able to do that great thing. And so, yes, even in this position, I get served sour lemonades. I mean, lemons. What's the saying? You know, honestly, I have been up since 6 a.m.
You know what, Katy? The saying is whatever you say it is, okay?
All right, thank you.
Now, Katy, I did happen to notice that you wear some interesting costumes. I do love them. There's the spinning boobs, there's the cupcake boobs, and in fireworks you have the firecracker boobs.
That is coming from my spirit, not from my décolletage.
I wanted to know.
You're just a pervert.
And you showed me, but
Not many people in this country can see past the chiseled good looks.
At the risk of incurring another answer like you just gave me, do you have a favourite boobs?
A favourite décolletage? I mean, you know, I like to have fun with my costumes, and if I can do dual things with the costumes, make them spin, make them spurt.
Onto something a little safer for me. You have a cat, and you have the coolest name for a cat.
Oh, thanks. Kitty Purry.
Kitty Purry.
Yes, that is my cat.
You must miss Kitty Purry.
I love her so much, and she is so adored by everyone that meets her, because she's kind of like a dog cat. You know, one of those...
I call them cogs.
A cog?
Cat that's a dog.
Oh, yeah, that's her. And she's super cuddly.
Don't listen to the pervert.
and she's been there for me through thick and thin, and I have been there for her since she got pregnant twice. She's quite a hussy.
Wow.
But I made sure that didn't happen anymore.
Was she wearing those spinning boobs out in public?
Probably.
Unfortunately, we do have to take a quick break. Please stick around. We're going to keep chatting.
No, I'm out of here.
Oh. I believe your agent said you'd stay, but anyway, we'll talk about that in the break. We're going to take a break. Back with more Katy Perry.
This Sunday on The Project, pull on the spandex, get your superpowers sorted. Oz Comic Con is here. We take you to the biggest gathering of Aussie comic enthusiasts. Who knows, you might just become one yourself. That and all the weekend's top stories, 6 p.m. this Sunday on The Project.
Katy Perry on the desk and Limo. Now, this story, a lot of people, like here in Australia, like we thought, oh, you just burst onto the scene with Kissed a Girl. The single went #1 everywhere. But this movie really tells a story about the fact that it took you a long time to get there. You went through a number of record labels and did some really hard yards.
Yes, they said hard yards is like paying your dues, but in Australian, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We also say paying your dues. We're very dexterous.
Oh. Incredible. I learn something new every day. Yes, it shows you all of that. I think people have maybe read about it, but it really gives you the visual. You see a lot of footage of me from when I first moved to Los Angeles at 18, and I had this kind of vision of what I was going to do and who, you know, what I wanted to sing about, and the film opens up with me talking about how much I want to kind of be a leader, but then there's all that responsibility. You see a lot of like exclusive footage you've never seen before, and you see me kind of like go through it a bit, even to the point where my brother is saying that I called him up which I kind of remember this moment. I called him up, and he was 16 at the time, and I asked to borrow money from him. I'm 4 years older than him.
Who's asking to borrow the money now?
Yeah, well, that's true.
There we go. Now, there's loads of interesting stuff in the film, there really is, but something that really fascinated me is you had a Christian upbringing and you hadn't heard any Michael Jackson music until you were 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah, I didn't really hear very much
pop music at all.
Pop music at all, yeah. I mean, I was literally backstage while I'm getting prepped for the show and watching the television and just like so like, wow, because I never watched television growing up, and to this day, if I turn it on, I'm like in a trance. It's so strange. I'm just...
Wow, you should see the internet. You'll blow your mind.
The internet does blow my mind. I try and stay away from there.
What was it like growing up with pastor parents?
Well, I didn't really know anything different, but they were very selective. Like, I couldn't have... do you have angel eggs here? Those kind of, like, appetizers with the eggs
I like
that are cut in half. Oh, yeah, they're called deviled eggs.
Yeah,
I can only call them angel eggs. See, I'm still stuck.
What I found interesting in the film is that you singing, you know, about kissing girls and all that kind of thing. It's not about you rebelling against that. It's just you being you. It's not like you're making a stand against your, you know, past.
No,
and, you know.
I mean, I just somehow was born the black sheep. And my parents have been very supportive. Of course, there's a scene in the movie where my mom comes backstage and I kind of jab fun at her because that's our relationship. We all goof off, and I say, "Hey, Mom, what's your favorite song?" I kissed a girl, and she goes, "No." And so I know, I know that like 9 songs out of 10, they like them, but that one, they'd probably prefer me not to sing.
Would you say, is your mum still strict on you?
My mom is not that strict. She will always speak her mind, of course. I think that's probably where I get my whole speaking the mind thing from,
nice.
too. Yeah.
I love your sister in the film, too.
She's great, yeah.
You give it to do. What about when she comes out as the nerdy kid and wears the braces and everything? I just thought...
My sister is kind of like a redheaded version of me, and she's lovely. She's kind of... I call her my warden because she keeps me, like, down to the ground. She has that, like, invisible leash you see in the shopping malls and stuff on the children and the parent, and like if the child goes astray, they go. She has that with me, and she really takes care of me on tour, and she looks after people that are coming backstage, and she's just like, when I was really young, I made a promise. You know, we kind of had that talk about like, if I ever make it, you're coming with me, and you see her, she's with me all the time. So yeah, she's like perfect. It
is great to see that you have that whole crew with you the whole time. You've stayed true to that same group of people through everything.
Yeah, I mean, I love collecting good people. There's nothing better than like a great group of people or a great group of friends you can just have a laugh with. I mean, because sometimes life just gets so difficult that you just need to laugh about it. And I like to surround myself with good, positive, can-do people.
Well, we would love to have you around longer, but we have to go, unfortunately. Katy Perry, Part of Me 3D, is in cinemas everywhere Monday, the 2nd of July. Would you please put your hands together for Katy Perry?
Right now, those thumbs back.